If y'all can hear, just put a 1 in the chat. If y'all can hear us, put a 1 in the chat for me, Baba Kashar. You check YouTube, I'm gonna check Facebook. Let's see. We to walk. All right. Like I was saying, in the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 29, it says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Like, you have to sit here and be very mindful of what you say and what you do. Everything that we are doing here in this truth is amazing. In this truth, here in the Isupk, we have people that's getting off of drugs and becoming something that the Lord can be proud of. We had people that used to be unalivers or people that was in prison, that was locked up, and they are choosing, and they have chosen to be something brand new, something special that the Lord can use. We have to be the standard. That's what we chose to do when we came into this school. We chose to be the standard. So make sure that what you're saying, just always be a brother, always be a sister when you're talking to one another. Brother, go to Proverbs. Go to Proverbs 17 and 28. Yeah, Proverbs 17 and 28. Because it's like I said, this whole class today is about be mindful of the things that come out of your mouth. Everybody loves to argue. The easiest thing to do in a situation when you're upset is to argue. That's the easiest thing to do. Because at the end of the day, what is happening? If we look at the bigger picture, why is there an argument? What is supposed to, like, why are we even here? An argument comes about because somebody is offended. And after somebody is offended, what do? They're offending you now. Because you offended me, now I have to offend you to try to get my point across. That's what we were taught as children. We was taught as children, if someone does something to you, if somebody does something to me, I got to do it to you. It's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Not knowing that being an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth leave us all blind and toothless. That's what we were taught. But not a lot of people were taught, you know what? Just sometimes the best thing that you can do is not say nothing at all. Because what does the Bible say? Go ahead and read that precept. What does the Bible say right there?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise.
Understand this. Everything does not warrant you to have a comeback. Everything that's said or everything that's done does not need you to react to it. And when I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself. Like, that's the hardest thing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody snap at me, my first instinct is, man, who is you talking to? Like, you saying all this stuff, bro, who is you talking to, fam? I know you can't be talking. Okay. I'm gonna want to go right back at you. That's everybody's natural first instinct, is to sit here and be like, man, who is you talking to? And go off just like they going off on you. But at the end of the day, to show that you have more restraint, you have to learn how to sit here and be like, you know what? Okay. So why are you really mad? Like, you doing all this yelling and cussing, you doing all this. Why are you mad? And you want to know what's the craziest thing about it? We're gonna actually go to the precept. Hey, hold that precept that you had, but go to Proverbs 15:1. We're gonna go right back to that other one. Just go right there for me real quick.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 1. A soft answer turneth words, stir up anger.
Read it again.
It's like it. A soft answer turneth away wrath.
A soft answer turneth away wrath. A lot of people don't understand that. I didn't gotten to the truth. I still deal with trying to have a soft answer that will turn away wrath dealing with certain situations. Like, I'm not afraid to sit here and say what I have problems with. Because if I can't sit here and be like, you know what, I don't always have a soft word that's going to turn away wrath. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a liar. I'm not going to lie to you and say every time I'm dealing with a situation, I know how to deal with it. That's why we get counsel. That's why we still learn how to do everything we need to do every single day. We fight every day against our demons. But that's something that everybody needs to know. Sometimes you got to have that soft word that's going to turn away wrath. So when somebody's up in the rafters and they cussing you out and they just like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, hold on. What's going on? Like, why are you so mad? Okay, you said I did it. Okay, hold on. What did I do? Like, you my brother, you my sister. What did I do? What did I do to offend you? And be mindful and understanding. Listen to it. You may not agree with it, but just listen to it. So that way, at the end of the day, the conversation can actually go somewhere. Because if they're yelling and you start yelling, then where does the conversation go?
Nowhere.
It don't go nowhere. It just turns into an argument. It turns into a yelling match. It turns into what the enemy wants. And that's for you and the other person to be at odds. You and the other person to be mad at one another. And now the work is not being done. The enemy does not want this work being done. Demons do not want the Most High's work to be done. So they'll use something so small to destroy everything. Because at the end of the day, if I don't know how to talk to you, brother, and you don't know how to talk to me, how can we get the work done? Because every time we standing next to each other and we got to say, for instance, we got to do Shamar together. Are you going to watch my back and am I going to watch your back? The way that I'm supposed to if I got a problem with you? You're going to have that same spirit. You're going to be like, man, you know what, bro? I got my area. I'll secure my area. You have to secure your own. But what if something calls for you to help me secure my area? Because you're upset with me. Now, all of a sudden, you might leave me alone to deal with something that I might not be able to deal with at that time. And now somebody gets hurt. We in a club or something. And because we argued before we got to the club, and a situation pops off in the club, and we all supposed to have each other's back, and because you upset with me, you don't have my back, then I don't make it home. Mind you, This happens all the time. Don't think that what I'm saying is far-fetched. Do you know how many times people go to clubs and there's an argument or something happens and there's a shootout at the end of a club? Do you know how many times people get jumped in the club or jumped outside in the parking lot of a club? Do you know how many times that people, like in relationships, do you know how many domestic violence cases there are? Do you know how many divorces there are? And all these things come because we don't know how to properly communicate with one another. Nobody wants to look weak. Nobody wants to have that soft word that turns away wrath. Everybody wants to be the dominant. Everybody wants to sit here and show that they are the authority. But the Bible said what? Go ahead, read.
A soft answer turneth away wrath,
Keep reading.
but grievous words stir up anger.
You got to understand, you got to choose which kind of person you're going to be. Are you going to be the person that's going to give the soft word to turn away wrath? Or are you going to be the person that give the grievous? You're going to be the person that's sitting here and letting your pride show. You know, because when you're a prideful person, then you start saying whatever comes to your mind, so that way you can feel good at the end of it. If you want to be the person that looks like they won the argument, then what you gonna do?
You'll say something slick at the end.
You're gonna say something slick at the end because you gotta have the last word. Oh, you wanna yell, you wanna scream. Okay, because I'm the loudest person, I win the argument. You really don't. You're just causing more problems. You're causing more contention between you and the person you were talking to. Go back to that Proverbs, Salaki, go back to Proverbs 17 and 28. Proverbs 17 and 28. And this is why this precept is right here. Because while everybody wants to just be the person that wins the argument and wins the fight, you got to understand this. Go ahead, read once you have it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 28.
17 and 28.
Slakia, chapter 17, verse 28.
The water.
Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise.
Keep reading.
And he that shuttereth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding.
Understand this, man. Even a fool, even somebody that everybody thinks don't have no type of understanding, somebody that everybody thinks is just dumb, they're counted as wise when they know how to hold their tongue. That's the thing that people need to learn how to do. Every action don't have to have a reaction. Like, you don't have to sit here and go toe to toe with a person just because they want to. Just because you want to argue with me, brother, don't mean I got to argue. Just because you want to yell doesn't mean I have to yell back with you. I can sit here and be like, okay, well, you want to yell? All right, well, you know what, brother? Look, I want to listen to you, but if you just going to yell the whole entire time, then I don't know if we're going to be able to have a conversation. Maybe we'll have a conversation once you can calm down. Oh, you don't want to do that? Okay, well, brother, go ahead and say what you need to say then. I'm listening. Go ahead. And once they get done, you be like, are you done? Okay, no sweat. Salakia, brother. Somebody that knows how to do that right there, is wiser than someone that wants to just go back and forth and argue. That's counsel right there. That's counsel that here in the ISUPK we get all the time. Just because, like, you don't have to argue. You're supposed to show understanding. You're supposed to just be like, okay, well, let me hear what you have to say. Okay. Just because you're saying, okay, I understand. All right, I see where you're coming from. You don't have to agree to everything that somebody is saying to you. They can feel however they want to feel. Everybody's entitled to their feelings, okay? You feel this way, okay, that's fine. Okay, I offended you. Okay, no sweat, Salakia. But you know what a fool does? A fool continues to argue and being combative with someone to the point where it causes division. And here in the ISUPK, under Commander General Yohana, we are not fools. All right, brother, let's drop that. Let's go to 1 Peter. Let's go to 1 Peter 3 and 10. Huh? Okay, no sweat, brother. Go ahead, do your duty. We're going to go to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. It says, for he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile. Let's look at the definition of guile real quick. The definition of guile is to be sly or cunning intelligence. In other words, somebody that's slick at the mouth. So when it says, for he that will love his life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil. Why is the Bible telling you? If you want to see good days, watch what you say. Why is the Bible saying that? Do you know how many people die on a regular basis based off of a conversation or based off of somebody not understanding the situation and the severity of a situation? People jumping into stuff just because, oh, that's my partner, I'm gonna hop in there with him. You know, if he says forget this person, I'm saying forget this person. Bro, if you want a long life, watch what you say. Watch how you move. Watch the things that you do. Because you don't know how the next person feels. You don't know what the next person is thinking or how they want to sit here and go about any situation. You may think, all right, you know what? You know, it ain't no major situation. It's something small. But to that other person, what you just said was their breaking point. And because you just hit that breaking point, now they are going to do everything in their power to destroy you and everything that you stand for. You have to be mindful of the things that you say. Again, none of this is saying that you're scary. None of this is saying, oh, you're a coward. Oh, you were afraid to speak your mind. No, none of this is saying that. This is just saying be mindful of what you do and what you say. This is in the scriptures. Because at the end of the day, We're not here on this earth to offend your brothers. We're not offending. We're not here to offend your brother or your sister, man. We're here to sit here and love on one another so that way we can be the greatest people on the face of this earth. We can't be the greatest people on the face of this earth if we sitting out here destroying ourselves with drugs or unaliving one another behind frivolous things and what somebody's saying, or somebody stepping on my shoes, or somebody doing this or somebody doing that. Right now we're at the book, we're in the book of 1 Peter 3 and 10. Understand, if you love your life and you want to see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil. That was 1 Peter 3 and 10. It says, for he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile. This don't go just for brothers. This goes for brothers, sisters. It goes for husbands. It goes for wives. It goes for how you are supposed to train up your children. Don't teach your child to have a slick mouth. That's something that's crazy right now in the generation that we live in. Like the days that we living in right now, these children have the slickest mouth. They have no respect for their elders. They have no respect for people that been here decades before they were even thought of. And why is that? Because they're going based off of what they see and based off of what they hear and based off of what was in their life and in their households. So if we all follow this right here, then we wouldn't have to deal with these little kids deciding in high school that, you know what, or in middle school that we about to go rob somebody. Oh, you know what? We about to jump somebody, and now somebody got unalived, and now you looking to 25 to life because you just unalived somebody based off of some words that were said. Be mindful of what you're saying, man. Be mindful of what's going on. You don't have to sit here and argue and fight with someone just because that's what they want. You don't have to do that. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. We can go to Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. Let me know once you have it, brother. All these things right here is what we need right now. We have to learn how to control what we're saying. Learn how to control how you move. Control your emotions. That way, you're not making rash decisions that's going to take you out of the game when the Most High needs you to be there. Go ahead and read once you have it, Baba Kashar.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Death and life is in the power of the what?
Of the tongue.
Understand this. With the words that come out of your mouth, is two things that you can get from it. You can get either death or life. You choose what you want. You choose. Nobody else is going to choose for you. If a situation occurs between me and you, brother, I can choose death or life by the next words that I say. If you offend me, I can choose to either be like, hey, brother, you know what? You offended me. Like, I didn't like the fact that I sat here and told you that was my last piece of chicken. Or I can sit here and be like, see, I can sit here and be like, hey, say my nigga, see, this is the problem with you, dog. Like, you ain't even sitting here and asked me if that was my last piece of chicken, dog, and you ate my food, dog. You a hun, as what we say is, you a hoe ass nigga. That's choosing life or death. Because by me sitting here telling you, hey, brother, you offended me. Now that gives an opportunity for me and you to have a conversation where we can gain a brother. But if I go off on you, what is that gonna do? We ain't gonna gain one another right there. Because if I'm talking to you slick, I'm calling you all these words, then what's gonna happen? Now you're gonna be offended. And if I don't care that you offended, then what's gonna happen? Then we're gonna keep bumping heads and colliding until what happens? Destruction. And that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants you to collide and bump heads until, boom, destruction. You have to be the change. You have to understand what's going on and not allow it to be there. You have to have control. That's what you have to have. You have to have control. Go ahead and keep reading, brother.
And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
Understand this. No matter what you do, see, there's two different fruits. There's a good fruit and a bad fruit. If you love the Most High, that means you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, then you should bring forth what kind of fruit? Good fruit. But if you are a lover of yourself in this world, what kind of fruit shall you bring? Bad fruit. Bad fruit. If you live the life that the Most High wants you to live, that means that you are always trying to gain your brother. That means that you should bring forth good fruit. You should be able to communicate with one another so that way it actually goes somewhere. But if you are a lover of yourself, then you will say whatever you want to. You'll talk to people however you feel like talking to the people. You'll go for an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And at the end of the day, you don't gain nothing but division and destruction, which is bad fruit. We have to understand that life or death is in the tongue. Let's drop that. Let's go to Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 15, verse 4.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit.
Does anybody know what perverseness is or perverse? Does anybody know what that means? Anybody knows what that means?
Like
a nasty.
What'd you say, that?
I was gonna say like lewd and or deliberately obscure, like just deliberately to go over the top with it.
So you said a nasty and filthy mind, and you said deliberately what?
Deliberately lewd and to go over the top with it.
Okay. Both of y'all are close. Both of y'all is right on the money. So the definition of perverse, right, or perverseness is showing a deliberate and abstinent desire to behave in a way that is unreasonable or unacceptable, often in spite of the consequences. So somebody that's perverse or showing perverseness, right, is somebody that knows what the consequences is and chooses to be rude. Somebody that chooses to sit here and be like, you know what? I don't care what the consequences is. I don't like your ass. F you, F everything that's going on. You know what? If you want to fight about it, we can fight about it. I don't care what you're talking about. Like somebody that doesn't care about the consequences, even though they know what they could possibly be. Somebody that just ready to, it's somebody that's very clamorous. Somebody that just speaks and says whatever. Like they know so much, but they know nothing. So understand this, in that scripture right there, is saying a wholesome tongue is a tree of life. If you sit here and you know how to talk to people, you can breathe life into them. But perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. What kind of spirit are we trying to be in the truth? What kind of spirit do people that follow law, statutes, and commandments, what kind of spirit are they in? They're in an upright spirit. They're in a brotherly spirit. You know, the Passover is coming up. You're going to see a bunch of brothers and sisters, and everybody's going to be in the spirit. They're going to see one another, and they're going to treat one another like it's going to be like a big family reunion. Like, man, hey, bro, I ain't seen you since the cookouts. I ain't seen you since this. I ain't seen you since last Passover, bro. How you been? But if you have somebody that's perverse, what kind of spirit are they in? They're in a breach of spirit. So what kind of spirit are they in? They're in a spirit that don't nobody want to be around. You're the person that sits here and chooses. You're choosing death. You're choosing to sit here and be offensive. You're choosing to sit here and talk to people crazy because you're offended. You're choosing to sit here and try to be an eye for an eye, a tit for tat person. That's not how we're supposed to live. That's not who we are supposed to be. And that's not what we need. The 12 tribes of Israel, see, we are the most important people on the face of this earth. And if we would come together, if we would learn how to talk to one another, if we would do what the Lord asked of us, then there's nobody in this world that can come in between us. We were taught to hate one another. You know what's crazy right now? ICE is around here getting our brothers and getting our sisters and deporting them. And you know what people are saying? People in the world are saying, you know what, hey man, that's good. They over here taking our jobs anyway. Man, hey man, so send them back. I have a question though. How many illegal Chinese people? How many illegal Vietnamese people? How many illegal Arabs? How many illegal Africans? how many illegal Russians, like how many illegal aliens, as y'all put it, how many of them are you deporting? Y'all send planes over there to get them and bring them over here with no paperwork. But is ICE going to get them? ICE ain't touching them. Why is that though? The world is showing you what side they are on. We got to learn how to love one another because the world, the Bible made it clear. It said, gather yourselves together. Zephaniah 2:1 says, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation that's not desired. The nations that are not desired are the people that ICE are coming after. It's coming after the Hispanic brothers and sisters, the Puerto Rican, Colombian, people from Chile, Panama. That's who ICE is coming after. It's coming after the Haitians and the Jamaicans, the people without paperwork. They're coming after y'all. They're not coming after them Chinese and Vietnamese people like that. There's plenty of them over here that don't have paperwork. There's plenty of them Arabs over here that don't have paperwork. There's plenty of them Africans that's over here from the Congo or the Somali tribe or whatever. There's plenty of them for the Mobutu tribe that don't have paperwork that came over here. But y'all not going after none of them. Y'all going after the brothers and the sisters that the Most High God has chosen to be a special people unto himself. This is the reason why we got to learn how to talk to one another. This is the reason why we got to learn how to let down them walls and actually be with one another. So that way we can help each other. That way we can control the narrative. That way we can control what's going on. Because you know what's happening, right? ICE is not just finding people. There's people that are calling ICE and letting them know, hey, there might be some illegal aliens from Mexico over in this place and over in that place. Oh, hey, you know what? This apartment over here, man, they known for having, bro, this ain't, you thinking they just finding them? It's people telling ICE, telling the government where your brothers and sisters are. And the only thing that and this is your brother and sister's land. This is our land. But because we were taught to hate one another from birth, we were taught to not like one another. We will sit here and call the oppressor on each other to hurt one another. That's crazy. That's crazy. We as a people have to learn how to love one another again. We have to change and be the person of change. But you can't do that if you don't know how to watch what you say, if you don't know how to control your anger and control yourself. You can't be a person of change if you're sitting here fighting one another 24/7, always arguing with one another. Hey, brother, go to Proverbs 25 and verse 28, Baba Kashab. Go ahead and read once you have it.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
Understand this, man. If you don't have no spirit, or if you don't have rule over your own spirit, you're like a city with no walls, without walls, that's broken down. Understand this. If you don't know how to control your anger, you will fall for anything and everything. If you allow voices in your head to control your actions and control how you talk to one another and control how you move and control the things that you do, then understand this, you will fall for anything. You're like a city that's broken down without walls. That means that you are easily accessible for any and everything. And mind you, what is a demon's job? Go ahead, brother.
To kill you.
It's not just to kill you. You're right. It definitely is going to kill you. A demon wants to kill you. But what does it want to do first before it kills you?
Possess you.
It wants to isolate you. A demon's job is to sit here and overtake your body, overtake your mind. It's going to control how you think, control how you move, to the point where you flash out on everybody that you know. You distance yourself from everybody that you know, so that way that demon can have you for itself. And after that demon has you for itself, then it will kill you. See, a demon's job, the first thing a demon's job is to do is to make you isolate yourself from everybody, which means that you will have to what? Push away from everybody. Not call, not receive counsel. When people ask you how you doing, oh, I'm fine, even though you're not fine. Hey, brother or sister, hey, do you want to go here? Man, you know what? We miss you, man. Come on, come chill with us. Nah, I'm good, man. I'm about to go to the crib. I'm about to go chill. And when you go back to that crib, that demon has you. See, if your demon was smoking weed, see, that was my demon. When I teach class, I don't care about speaking about the things that I've had to overcome to become a new creature. My biggest demon was smoking weed. So even though I knew, oh, okay, you know what, I shouldn't be doing this, but the demon wanted to destroy me. So what did it do? It made me go away from everybody that was telling me to stop doing it. This ain't good for me. This is not what the Lord wants for me. My demon told me to get away from them. Man, why y'all always trying to teach me the Bible? Man, get on somewhere with all that Bible thumping. Man, get on. And go back to the house and do what? Roll up and smoke some weed. Why did the demon want to do that? It wanted to isolate me. It wanted to show me that the demon had control over my body. You have to have rule over your own soul and your own spirit. You have to control it. You have to fight your demon, because if you don't fight your demon will take over your body. It will control you. It will make you do things that you know you're not supposed to do. And then after you get done doing it and now you have to deal with the consequences, where will that demon go? That demon gonna leave. Be mindful of that. That demon right there on your shoulder the whole entire time telling you to do wrong. And then when you start having to deal with the consequences of doing wrong, then that demon leaves your body. if you don't have rule over your own body, you are like a city that's broken down with no walls. You are easily going to be targeted. Control yourself. Control your spirit. Control your body. Control your mind. So that way, nobody and nothing can sit here and make you be out of the spirit. Because the Most High God told you what type of spirit he wants you in. Salaki, go to Proverbs 29 and 11. Once you got to read Baba Kishar.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 11. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards.
We're going to go ahead and read that one more time, brother. Just read that first part for me one time.
A fool uttereth all his mind.
A fool will utter all his mind. A fool will sit here and say everything that comes to their mind. Somebody that has no control will say whatever comes to their mind. Whatever foul and vile thing, they'll say it. But what? Keep reading. It says, but what?
But a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards.
Understand this, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Learn how to not say certain things. When people are up in the rafters or people get in their feelings or emotional, their first thing to do is what? Out loud. They just gonna burst out saying whatever. Learn how to halt. Learn how to take a moment and keep yourself from saying something that you are going to regret. That's why the Bible says a fool says all his mind. A fool will say whatever comes to their mind. They're gonna say it right off the bat. Just boom, 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 boom. But a wise person holds their tongue. That's how you need to be. That's who you should be. Be wise. Because at the end of the day, if you say something out of anger that you truly don't mean, you cannot take them words back. Once you let them words go, you can't pull them back. You can't offend somebody. The only thing you can do is apologize. So be mindful of how you speak. Be mindful of what you say. Salakia. Let's go to the book of Second Timothy chapter 2. Let's go to verse 24.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 24. And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient.
Keep reading.
Verse 25, in meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves.
Keep going.
If Yahweh peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth.
Understand this, man. If you are choosing to be a servant of the Most High God, man, you are going to have to deal with a lot of different things. And you have to be unmovable. You can't be swayed based off of people's emotions. You have to be the teacher. You have to be the parent, for a better lack of word. You have to be the parent, even though the child is sitting here throwing a temper tantrum. Like a lot of people don't sit here and get that part. See, brothers and sisters that's here in the Isupk, understand this. There's a lot of people that's in this world that are looking at you. And I understand, sisters, you're not there to teach people precepts and all that. But sisters, there's a lot of younger sisters that look up to the elder sisters. And if they see you in front of everybody being one way, but when it's just y'all chilling around one another, you're a different way, that's not going to teach them the correct spirit. Brothers, if you are sitting here and you're one way when everybody's around, but you're a different way when it's just you and another brother there, people are going to learn who you are based off of the whole thing, the whole aspect, the whole story. So you have to be the same way. You have to learn how to be the teacher. You have to learn how to be meek. You have to learn how to be patient. Because those things is what we need. You can't be a person, see, and this is the thing, even if you are somebody that's in the world, you have to, as the Bible says, you have to train up a child in the way that they should go, so that way that they don't depart, right? You have to know how to speak to one another. You have to know how to properly communicate. Nobody is going to learn from you if you don't know how to properly communicate. And that's the problem that we have. We so gun-ho on somebody to hear our side. I want y'all to listen to me. I want you to hear me out. That you don't know how to properly point across. To get your point across doesn't mean that you are rude. It doesn't mean that you are saying stuff to try to hurt somebody else's feelings. You have to learn how to be gentle. You have to learn how to be meek and mild. You have to learn how to talk to somebody in a way so that way they are not easily offended. Does it work all the time? It doesn't, because everybody thinks differently. But if you are in the spirit of doing that, you have a better chance than somebody that just say whatever's on their mind. If you're going to be a servant of the Most High God, you have to do what the scriptures say. You have to live that way every single day, when you want to or when you don't want to. And it says, and the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient, in meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves. if God pre-adventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth. We're going to go ahead and keep reading. Read verse 26 from me, Bible Kashar.
Verse 26. And they that may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will.
Understand this, man. Again, like I said, them demons, they'll lay out snares, and we all know that a snare is a trap. They'll lay them out for you to sit here and fall into. Don't be somebody that's prideful. Learn how to repent so that way you can get out of those snares. We can go, Baba Kashag, can we go to Proverbs 16 and 32? Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 32. Read once you have it, Baba Kashag.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 32. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding.
So, like, is that Proverbs 16 and 32?
Oh, no.
Where was you at?
I was 32.
Okay, well, sure. We can go off of that too. Read that again for me too.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 32. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul.
If you are refusing instruction, you despise your own soul. Understand this. This goes for men and women. We are all under what? The Most High's what? Law. His law, statutes, and commandments. If we choose to refuse that, if we choose not to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, then what did it say? Then you do what?
Despise his own soul.
You despise your own soul. You don't want a good and long life. Again, the class is on what? Be mindful of what you say and what you do, right? If you aren't following the law, statutes, and commandments, if you're not doing what the Most High wants you to do, if you're talking to people crazy, what does talking to people crazy always end in? Either an argument, a fight, or somebody being unalived. Then you don't care about your spirit. Because your spirit can easily be taken away from you by demons. Keep reading.
But he that heareth reproof getteth understanding.
Understand this, but he that listens to the law, statutes, and commandments, he that takes correction, he that follows orders and follows the good things that the Bible is telling you to do, follows the law, statutes, and commandments, then he does what?
Getteth understanding.
You gain so much more. You have understanding. Now let's go to Proverbs chapter 16, 16 and 32.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city.
Understand this. if you learn how to control yourself, if you are somebody that's slow to anger, you are stronger than the mighty. The reason why you are better, as a precept say, it says, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. The reason why you are better than the mighty is because you are not moved off of your emotions. You let the logic of things control. You're not easily swayed. I can't make you mad to the point where I can't trick you out of your position. So many people get tricked out of their spot because they don't have control over themselves. And that's the problem. Everybody's so quick to be angry. Everybody's so quick to sit here and have something to say or be at odds with one another. But the person that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. And he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city. Anybody can sit here and be strong. Do you know how many people are strong in this world, but inwardly are dumb? Do you know how many people that can bench press over 600 pounds, but are so emotional that they get hurt? Somebody that knows how to use their brain, somebody that knows how to control their emotions is better than somebody that doesn't know how to control themselves, that can just destroy anything. Be the person that's slow to anger. Be the person that knows how to watch what they say and control themselves. Be that person. Let's go to Proverbs 21 and 23. Once you get it, read Baba Kashan.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles.
Keep reading.
Verse 24. Proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath.
Again, all these precepts in this Bible is letting you know the difference between somebody that knows how to control themselves and somebody that doesn't. If you know how to control yourself, if you know how to control the things that come out of your mouth and what you say and how you come across to people and how you treat people, then you don't have to worry about your soul being in trouble. But the person that does not know how to do those things, then you become very proud. You become very prideful. And we all know what pride comes before what? Destruction and a fall. So you have to be mindful of what you say and what you do. Don't become somebody that's prideful. Don't become somebody that's proud and just saying whatever comes to their mind. Because at the end of the day, what you're about to do is you're about to mess up. You're about to destroy everything that you really and truthfully want. Because at the end of the day, what are you looking for? You're looking for satisfaction of yourself instead of following what the Lord wants. That's something that we all do. We were taught to look out for ourselves. And in the midst of looking out for ourselves, we was taught to be selfish. But see, here in the ISUPK, what were we taught? When you came into the ISUPK, what was one of the first things that you was taught? As a priest and prophet of the Most High, you were taught to be what? Go ahead, bro.
Selfless.
You was taught to be selfless. How can you be a servant of the Most High and be selfish? Like, how can you be in a marriage and be selfish? It don't line up. Because in this school, we learn to endure to the end. That's what the scriptures say, right? But if you're a selfish person, when things and times get hard, what are you going to do? Go ahead.
Lean on your own understanding.
You're going to lean on your own understanding. You're going to start doing stuff that you know you're not supposed to do. Why? Why are you going to start doing things that you know you're not supposed to do? Go ahead, y'all can buy it.
Because you're being selfish. So now you're trying to please yourself.
Right. If the only thing I knew is to make sure I'm good, right? Do I care if you good? If times get hard for you, but I'm good on my end. Oh brother, I know you hungry, but you know what? Hey man, hey, look, that's you. That's what you got going on over there. You know, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm good over here. Being selfish because of what? Your pride. Then what happens?
The fall, destruction.
Then the Lord will show you how it feels. You got to be mindful of those things, man. You got to be mindful of that. You can't be a selfish person because then the Lord will put judgment on you to make you need somebody else. And once you need somebody else and nobody's there to help you, you have nobody to blame but yourself. You've been a selfish person this whole entire time, but now you need help. And what? Nobody's there to help you. Why? Because when everybody else needed help, you were the person that turned away from them. Be mindful. Don't be a proud person. Don't be a prideful person. Don't be a person that people can't come to and talk to. Don't be a person that you always got to have your way. It's either your way or the highway. It's either my way or you know what? Forget everything. If I don't get my way, destruction, destroy. Don't be that person. Because at the end of the day, if the shoes was on the other foot, you are going to want somebody to be there for you. Don't be selfish. Be a selfless person. Salakia. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verse 10. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 5, verse 10. Once you got it, just go ahead and read it for me. This whole thing, like I said, is about being mindful of how we speak, how we treat, how we talk, and the things that we say to one another. We are going to learn this. That's what brotherhood and sisterhood is about. This is not just a class for the people to in the ISUPK. This is a class for everybody to understand. Brotherhood and sisterhood comes with a sacrifice. And what you have to sacrifice is you being selfish and becoming somebody that is selfless. Go ahead and read.
This is in the Apocrypha, this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 5, verse 10. Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same.
Keep going.
Verse 11. Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give answer.
Understand this, man. You have to be somebody strong when it comes down to trying to be understanding. Being understanding is not an easy task all the time. But you have to be steadfast. You have to be somebody that chooses to do those things. You have to choose to be understanding. And you have to let your words be the same. You have to be mindful of your words. And what does it say? It says, be swift to what?
Be swift to hear.
And what?
And let thy life be sincere.
Understand this. A lot of people love talking. Everybody loves to be on the offensive. Not a lot of people love to be on the defensive. See, being swift to hear means that you have to allow the person to say whatever they need to say. That means that that person's on the offensive side. You on the defensive side, which means that you are hearing. That don't mean you throw up a wall to sit here and I ain't this. No. Being on the defensive side is listening. Be swift to hear. Don't always be somebody that's listening to be combative. Listening to have understanding. Listen to know what you need to do. Don't think about yourself when you're listening. Think about where the person's coming from. It says, be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give an answer. You don't always have to sit here and be so quick to respond. Because I'm telling you, if you're somebody quick to respond, you probably really didn't even hear the other person. You probably didn't even care to listen to what they had to say. You were just waiting on them to get done so that way you can combat everything that they said. And you're not going to go anywhere if you do that. The person's not going to feel like they're being heard. And the person is not going to listen to you as well. So be mindful of those things. Okay. All right. So, Salakia. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. Once you have it, go ahead and read for me, Baba Kashan.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not.
Okay, so right there. Let's right there. And be ye angry, but sin not. What is it saying? Break that down for me.
So it means like even when, let's say, someone makes you angry, don't be
Go ahead.
don't be like emotionally compromised. Don't allow your emotions to take over,
Why don't you allow your emotions to take over?
because it'll cause you to sin.
And
It'll cause you to make the wrong decision.
it'll cause you to make the wrong decision, or it'll cause you to say something that you really and truthfully aren't going to be able to take back, right?
I don't come.
So, be ye angry, but sin not. What else does it say right after that?
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Why do you think that this precept is right there? Go ahead, Yakubad.
Don't let a day go by when you didn't gain your brother because of some stupid alt. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That precept is right there because it's letting you know, man, look, every day not going to be a good day. But you know what you shouldn't do? Just because you upset, that does not give you the right. If somebody offended you, that doesn't give you the right to try to be offensive back. That doesn't give you the right to try to get vengeance for them offending you. Because if we go based off of Matthews 18 and 15, go to Matthews 18 and 15. I'll hold the other precept. Go to Matthews 18 and 15 for me. Because if we get in full understanding behind everything that we're talking about, right? Matthews 18 and 15 says what?
The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee.
Nah, just go ahead and yell and scream, and because he offended you, try to offend him.
Go and tell him his fault between thee.
If somebody offends you, what you should do is this. First and foremost, you should keep control over your own spirit. And you should go to them and be like, hey, you know what? What you just said offended me. What you just said hurt my feelings. And I don't appreciate what you said because I'm not that person that you said I am. I'm not going to ever be that person that you say that I am. Because I'm striving every day to be somebody different. If somebody offends you, you go to them and them alone and you tell them the fault. Just because you're angry does not give you the right to sin. Just because you angry does not give you the right to flash out. Just because you angry does not give you the right to set somebody up. Just because you are angry does not give you the right for you to become somebody that you're not, to get back at the person that hurt your feelings. That's why in the book of Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26, it says, be ye angry, but sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Salaki. Just because you're upset does not give you the right to offend the person that offended you. Because again, if we are eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, then that leaves us all what? Blind and toothless. And the Bible says vengeance is who? Vengeance is the Lord's. So if you sitting here trying to get vengeance because somebody hurt your feelings, are you allowing the Lord to do his job? The Lord told you what he would do. And let me tell you something. What the Lord has in store for somebody that offends you is way, 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 way worse than any words that you can say, than anything that you can do. Your arms is not long enough to box with God. There's nothing that you can do that the Most High can't do worse. That's why I'm not going to sit here and do the tit for tat thing. I'm going to let the Lord deal with you. And then when the Lord deals with you, I'm going to sit back and just thank my Father. I'm going to thank my Father for his grace and his mercy. And the things that he has shown me and how I've grown to become a different person. Because if I was selfish, I would look for vengeance myself. But because I'm not that old person, I allow the Lord to make my adversary be his adversary. My enemy be his enemy. That's somebody that knows how to control themselves. You be ye angry, but you sin not. You don't have to go down that road just because somebody else decided to go down that road. Because if you decide to hop in that car with them while they about to crash into that wall, you are a fool. And here in the Isupk under Commanding General Yohana, they do not teach us to be fools. They teach us to be stand-up people. We are no cowards, and we don't give excuses. Stand on that. Be the people that you were taught to be in this school. The Most High called you out of darkness into his marvelous light to be a chosen people, peculiar people, a royal priesthood, somebody special unto himself. Be mindful of what you say and what you do. Because at the end of the day, you want mercy from the Most High. So sometimes, most of the times, I'm going to just be honest with you, you're going to have to grant mercy to get mercy. And with that, we're going to say Amajam, which means to stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Men of Israel, Majam Shabbat, Majam, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah, Yahweh Matah, Sar, face the sisters, sisters Yeshabdi, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Majam Shabbat, Majam, Barak, Yahweh Shamal Adah Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.